Alright, in the last video we talked about how to set up and use WinSCP to actually look at files on the server and actually move some around. What we're going to talk about now is how to actually view your default web page on our server. Right now we are still at the account that I was looking at before, which is my demo student account, and that means I'm under the A student user. So I'm at var www a student on the server, and what we're looking at is how do we see files through the browser. Right now there are only two files out here, index.html and template.html. Now I do want to point out in the book they have had you store everything by HTML. You can do either way on our server. It works. We've got it set up so that it can recognize either extension, doesn't matter. But what this is a throwback to the old Windows 95, 98 days when files could have a name that was 8 characters and then a dot and then only 3 characters after the dot. Therefore, you would have a file that was called index.html, just like the book would have told you to save it. However, we're on a Linux server, and Linux coming from Unix has never had that limitation. 3, 4, 20, 30 something letters, not a problem if you want to put it after that. There's no reason to, but you could if you needed to. So that's why I've got some on both. I'm naming these HTML just because I know that this is a Linux server. I built it, and I just feel that I need to call it by the Linux names instead of the Windows names. But again, either name will work. So to see what this file actually looks like, I'm going to go ahead here and open up Firefox. And what I want to do is go to the web server first, which is at dev.cict-net. There, you're going to actually see our default page or our index page for this server. On this one, you can see some other things later in this course. You're going to have something show up under 230 here that you can click and get to your page a little bit quicker. Right now, just haven't had time to build that yet. But I will have that set up for you. And what I want you to do is actually take what you have over here in the WinSCP box over on the remote side and type it in. We now have just the var www a student. And what we need to do is forget var and www and just type in after this, after your web address, /a student. Press enter there, and I can now see my page for what's showing up as far as what the file actually looks like. The way that I know that this is a file is because if I wanted, I could go one step further, and after that last slash, type in index.html. And my page didn't change, so I know that I'm actually viewing this file right down here. Now if I mess up, I could do index.html and nothing shows because I don't have a file out there like that. I could also do something else, and instead of index this way, I could have misspelled it with capital I, index.html that I know is out there, and this doesn't work either. So be sure that you know exactly which file you're looking for. Just to give this one more test, we're going to look at template.html. Now I know this is a file that's already there. In fact, I can come down here and look and see that it's out there in the same directory right below index. So I'm actually looking at this file now. All right. So that concludes this one as far as how to view your default page and how to start looking at pages. Feel free to look around. There's not a whole lot you can hurt on this end. But in the next piece, we're actually going to look at how to edit a page on the web server, and then finally, how to create new pages and move them over as well. By the end of this lesson, we'll actually update your web space out here to where, to where you're actually going to have something that looks sort of like what we're looking at before, to where you start seeing links with all kinds of pages that I can now click on and go and see my work, or in your case, see your work.